So as Caitlin comes to the stage, we're going to load up her slide. Caitlin Briere is the project lead for the TRI, for the TRI National Analysis and the TRI University Challenge. And there are a number of University Challenge speakers in this conference today. She has a Bachelor of Science degree in Natural Resources from Cornell, a Master's of Public Policy from Georgetown. Prior to EPA career, which Caitlin is about 8 years already? 6 years, oh my gosh. She worked for the National Park Service and the Department of Interior. She's going to be talking about the national analysis, and under her leadership, it has evolved wonderfully, but it's been an evolution over the years. So I'd like to actually give a shout out to Kara Kern, who is the previous project lead of the national analysis, and this evolution of what you're going to see from Caitlin is really on the shoulders of the people that came before Caitlin. So thank you very much, Caitlin, and they're bringing up your presentation now. And this is going to take us right to 10:30, and then we have our 15-minute break. And thanks to Dillard again for the coffee that's going to be out there.
Why isn't it going, Kelly?
You need to shut mine down. Of you.
No, it's not going.
There we go.
All right.
Excellent. Thank you, Kate.
Hi, good morning, everyone. I promise to do my best to not delay you from the coffee break. I know that's important. So I'm going to be talking today for a few minutes about the most recent TRI National Analysis Report, which featured our reporting year 2014 data. This report was released in January of this year, and the data have been out for about a year now. And so I know it seems a little bit funny to be talking about 2014 data in October of 2016. We're just a few months away from the release of the 2015 national analysis, which we are currently working very hard on. And some of you may have seen the 2015 data already in EnviroFacts. It was released in July. But for today, I'm going to show you some of the most innovative elements of the 2014 national analysis, which we're building upon for the upcoming 2015 report. So as of 2014, total production-related waste increased by 2% in the last year, but decreased 4% since 2003. And this includes the total quantities of chemicals that were recycled, treated, burned for energy recovery, as well as those disposed of or otherwise released into the environment. Something encouraging that we see in the data is that of the 25 billion pounds of chemical waste managed in 2014, 84% of that was not released to the environment due to the use of preferred waste management practices. Since 2003, over more than a decade, total disposal or other releases to the environment have decreased by 13%, which is great. Land disposal from metal mines have decreased quite a bit. Air releases have decreased thanks to advancements in the electric utilities and chemical manufacturing sectors. And then just a quick note, in 2014, of the 3.9 billion pounds of chemical waste that was released, about 65% went to land, 19% went to air, and 6% was released to water, and the remainder was transferred off-site. So as Jim said, the TRI National Analysis Report has come a long way since 1988, and I'm excited to show you some of the advancements in the most recent report. Since we do have limited time, I'm going to rely on screenshots of the website to highlight some of the cool features that we've introduced, but I'll be at an exhibit booth out in the main hallway for the remainder of the conference if anyone wants to stop by and see a live demo of the website or other EPA tools. We'll be hanging out there. So one of the first pages you get to in the new National Analysis website is this map of TRI facilities. And there were 21,783 facilities that reported to TRI in 2014, and this is an interactive map. You can zoom in to an area you're interested in and click on any of those orange dots to bring up more information about that exact facility. So it's not just a static map anymore. This is something you can interact with. Looking at waste management trends, these are, the similar trend that I mentioned on the first slide. You can see how the data have changed since 2003. But this does more than just tell you what the data story is. You can interact with the map by clicking through the legend to isolate a variable that you're most interested in. So say you wanted to look specifically at disposal or other releases, you can click on the legend and isolate just that variable in the graph. So now we have this trend that's looking at disposal or other releases, but you want to know where those releases went. So moving to the releases chapter, these are, similar shape to the graph, but now it's broken down by release media. So you can see the breakdown by air, water, and land, and offsite transfers since 2003. Something that we're excited to introduce in this website report is really easy and fast navigation. This is a screenshot of the bottom of the first page of the Waste Management and Pollution Prevention chapter. So it gives you a preview of all of the sections of that chapter, as well as little thumbnail graphs of what you can see. So it's easy to click through to the topic that you're most interested in. It's colorful. It's nice to look at, we think. And so it keeps you from, rather than paging through a PDF report in a more linear fashion, you can jump right to the data that you're really excited to learn about. So this is a shot of one of the new data elements that we collected in 2014 in the pollution prevention chapter. It shows also how you can navigate throughout the chapter. We have a drop-down menu that lists all of the graphs available in that chapter. So rather than keeping on clicking through page by page, you can jump right to another graphic. We also have downloadable data linked from pretty much every page of the report. You can download an Excel spreadsheet of the data used to make that chapter or make the report as a whole. So you can do your own personalized analyses with the TRI data. So one of the new features or new elements in the 2014 report was a profile of the automotive manufacturing sector, and this is a shot of the first page of that analysis. And this is a really great story. As you can see, the black line shows production, and not surprisingly, production went pretty dramatically down following 2008, as did releases, which makes sense. But with the recovery of the economy in the automotive sector, production has gone back up to pre-2007 levels, or to above pre-2007 levels, but those releases have stayed pretty low. So that's a really great pollution prevention story that shows that the releases per car manufactured have decreased dramatically. So this was a really neat thing to highlight. And as you can see, the tabs on the right-hand side show the other facilities that the other sectors that we profiled last year, and you can jump around within the chapter that way as well. Another chapter that was a big hit in the 2014 national analysis was Where You Live. This is an interactive mapping tool that lets people get data about the areas that they care about. This map is interactive. You can click on a state and get information about that state, as well as a link to a fact sheet with even more details about releases in that state. You can choose what data to display. The drop-down menu on the top lets you select from total releases, air releases, water releases, land releases, population, and also the RISI risk screening score. In addition to having data at the state level, we can also look at the county, the metropolitan statistical areas, watersheds. You can search for your city, or you can even enter your postal code and get TRI data as specific as your zip code area. In addition to the geographic fact sheets, we now have several other options available, including fact sheets by EPA region and fact sheets specific to TRI-covered chemicals, so you can look at a specific chemical that you're interested in, as well as fact sheets for each industry sector. So if you want to learn more about chemical management at an industry level, we have a fact sheet for that. So again, if you're interested in seeing those fact sheets up close and personal, you can come visit our exhibit booths out in the hallway, and we will show you them. So one of the other new features that we were really excited to introduce in 2014 was what's called a story map. And this really takes the idea of analyzing and visualizing TRI data to the next level, where we're not just giving you a graph, we're not just giving you a table, but we're really telling a story through pictures using this data. So with this story map, we combine TRI facility location data with demographic information from the U.S. Census. And as you scroll through the story map, it starts out with showing the percent of people living within 1 mile of a TRI facility at the state level and then at the county level. But then you get to this two-part map with the slider bar, and it shows the specific locations of TRI facilities with a 1 mile radius around them. And then one side of the map shows the density of people living near that facility who are minority and the density of people who fall below the poverty line. And something that was interesting in developing this tool was that at the national level, the sample of people living near TRI reporting facilities is pretty representative of the U.S. population as a whole. But as you can imagine, as you zoom in to a more specific area, to your neighborhood, that story changes pretty dramatically. And this tool can tell a really powerful story about who lives near a TRI facility, where these TRI facilities are located, what those neighborhoods look like, and how the distribution of the population near these facilities varies widely as you're looking in different areas. I believe the little preview of the map you have here is Prince George's County, Maryland, so right outside of Washington, D.C., and you can see the darker the purple indicates the higher proportion of minority population living near those TRI facilities. And with that, thank you very much for your time, and I think there's just a couple of minutes for questions.
Maybe one question, and then just find her at the exhibit area.
That's 3 minutes.
Yeah, but I want to just wrap up and give people time for coffee. So a question for Caitlin on the national analysis. You guys really want your coffee?
Yes. So yeah, please come visit us at the exhibit booth if you want to learn more or see a live demo of any of these tools. Thank you.
Oh, we do have one question. I'm
Okay.
sorry. We have a question. So hang on.
Hi, Caitlin. I'm Dr. David A. Padgett, Tennessee State University. I'm sure we've talked. I have just one question. We're working with communities and using TRI data. Been doing it for years. One of the stumbling blocks we've come across in using the data is we have facilities that report. Then they'll just stop 2009. And oftentimes they've probably found some loophole, gone down below the employee minimum in order to report. How would you suggest we overcome that instance? Because they're still releasing the stuff, but they're just not reporting anymore.
Yeah, that is a tricky one, and I know it's something that our data quality team always looks at, because if a facility has a track record and then suddenly they're not reporting, I know Velu and the rest of the people he works with and the regional coordinators are really great about contacting those facilities and say, hey, what's going on? Are you sure you're falling below the thresholds or whatever it might be? But the perspective of our program, if they do fall below the reporting criteria thresholds, then they're not required to report. But there may be other data sets or other EPA resources that they might cover, especially if they're a facility that might have a permit for water releases or air releases. Otherwise, I would say, other national level data sets or programs might have useful resources that you could kind of extrapolate. Beyond that, I don't have an easy solution for you, but I know that is a challenging problem with the research.
Caitlin, if I could just add to that,
Yeah.
One of the things that I've come to appreciate with the TRI program is it is an entry point. So you have a dialogue. Somebody wants to find out. You might not have TRI data for that year, but what are the other data sets that you can point people to? So it's still that point of conversation, which is really I think it's such a powerful part of the, and I'm thinking on nod his head. So yeah, that's an echo there. So thank you, Caitlin.